Hello everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix and welcome to File Folder Friday. What we've got here today is lace and ribbon cards. Now so far I've only done lace because that's what I had some of the scraps of, but lace or ribbon cards. Get my tongue all tangled up. So I made this one first. This is a piece of file folder that I cut with a corner, corner punch, or actually this one, and then used my envelope maker to punch out a couple little valleys and then cut them off straight to give me that spool effect. And then I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here I punched a little hole. I don't know if you can see that little hole right there, using this tiny little hole punch, and then cut just a little sliver out, and I did it on both sides just to hold it, and I put a hole in. So this is just plain, it's two glued together also. I don't know if I mentioned that. It's two glued together. And then I made this one. It's backed with file folder. Did the same process, used this corner punch, put a couple little valleys in, cut the wedge out, inked around it, and put some. Now this does not have the lines cut in. I just wound it around and then tucked it in the top, or tucked it underneath on the back. Then I made this one, and these two were made from half of a 6x6, and I have the other two pieces. I just cut it in two, so I had 4 3x3 squares, and I like the look. But I realized after I got a bunch of this paper out to do these with, I realized they're really darker than I would like for this project. I mean, these will make something pretty, but they're just too dark for my liking anyway. So I put a little bit of purple on this one. The only real difference between these two is it's a different corner rounder, and I did not put a hole reinforcer because I wanted to see what that would look like without one, and I think I actually like it better without. Then I made this one, and I used this corner here. So the card starts out the same size, but on this one I didn't cut a valley. I just cut 2 little lines, wrapped it around, and then tucked the excess up the back. So they're kind of, I'm just experimenting with the different ones. But I have a ton of lace. I've got 3 big, very big vintage suitcases full of lace. I've got 3 of the giant like totes, but they're the canvas totes, like storage totes, full of lace. And then I've got a few grocery bags hanging around where I've bought stuff at thrift stores, and it's all like in sandwich bags. And that's not counting what I have out to use from. So I have been looking for myself just a simple decorative way to store lace that I want to use, but I want it to be pretty instead of just stuffed in a bag or stuffed in a suitcase. So what I have decided to do is these 4 here will go into the giveaway at the end of the month, but I picked out a couple of 6x6s. Well, actually I picked out more than that. It's a paper pad from Hobby Lobby called Textile Floral, and I won't do them all, of course, but I picked out these to do a few of these for myself in this form but without the hole. And so that's what I'm going to do with this one. Although, let me double check and look at this one and see if I like it better, because it's got a lot of that orange in it. That orangey color. And I've got 3 ribbons. That one I've used some. And then these two, this one has a texture on it. These two are plain. And these are vintage. No telling how old these are. And then I've got this lace that I found at the thrift store that are all sort of this color. And so I thought, well, I'll do these. I just took them out. I have, what did I do with it? This is what I use out of, this is just my lace and ribbon that I have in my craft room to use out of. And as you can see, it's just a jumble. It's sort of, it's just lace and ribbon, or like seam binding ribbon, that is. I have actual ribbon in another place. But I wanted to get it looking prettier, if that makes sense. So, so that's the project we're going to do today, is something along these lines. And so basically, there's 2 ways with the file folder, and this is also doubled. I cut them out and then glued them together, put a little coffee and tea ink stain on and went around the edges on both of those. And then I did ink, but they're plain. I didn't spray these. So, these will go in the drawing, and what I'm going to work on is these that I'm going to use for myself. And so I'm going to go through the process and show you how I did it, but before I do that I need to clear this. I have an old tablecloth that I used to do the showing of everything on, so I need to clear that out of the way and get my workstation set up right here. So I will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, the first thing that we want to do is adhere this 6x6 to the piece of file folder. I've already cut down a piece of it, just slightly bigger than 6x6. And so this is, well, it's not necessarily a one-way design. It is a 2-way design, but that's all. Okay, so I need my glue stick. Oh, so this past weekend we went to visit my son, my stepson technically, but I just call him my son. I've been around half of his life. And he took us to his what he calls his Amazon guy. The man and his wife, they have a little store that has all the Walmart and Amazon and wherever else they get their returns and overstocks and whatnot. Anyway, they had a whole bunch of this glue. I mean, a bunch of it. But I limited myself to 5, and there's 6 in each one. So I have more of this glue. Yay. And they were $2 a piece, so $2 for a container. So I did good while I was up there. And I got to go to a Joann's. We don't have a Joann's here where I live. It's the closest one is an hour away, and it's in a town kind of northwest of us that I don't like going to. Mainly the reason, I suppose, is about surely it's not been 4 years, but it maybe has been. Anyway, 3 to 4 years ago, I went to a big nature walk thing there that was this big, huge bog, had all kinds of animals, turtles, and the big boardwalk that you walk through the swamp, basically. Anyway, when I got back, somebody had broken into my car. In fact, I saw them walking away, but didn't realize as I was walking out what had happened. or what was in the midst of happening. And thank goodness this guy I met on the trail actually scared him away when he came in. But anyway, so I'm an hour away and had to get a record to bring my car home. He had gotten in and reamed out the ignition, and what was interesting is I had put my purse in the trunk, and had he popped the trunk, he would have had all my information, all my bank cards, everything, and the extra set of keys that I had in my purse. So the car would have been completely gone. But as it was, anyway, when the lady from the sheriff's department came, she said that this particular town had a huge increase in car thefts, and my car was an older car, didn't have electronic anything, and so it made it an easy target. So I don't have that car anymore. But anyway, I do have to drive through the backside of that town to when I go visit my parents, but that's as close as I'm going to get. Anyway, so back to the Joanne story. So I found, while I was there, a few things. I only spent $20. It's like you have to drive 5 hours and you just spend $20, but it's all I found. So I found a paper pad, like I need another one, but it's called Mariposa. And so I got some pages earmarked to make a few projects from it. And I don't know, my eyes must not be working because I just can't seem to get that little sliver off of... I might have done that one too much. If I can get a hold of it. No, I did it. Yay. Okay. So, now this is wet. I am going to... Oh, look at that. I missed that one. Just when you think the show's coming back on, there's another commercial. That's how it was when I was growing up. Commercials was when you got up and run to the refrigerator, found the snack of some sort. Oh my goodness. We had TV till I was about 10, and then it died, and Mom and Daddy never did get another TV until way later. I'd already moved out, got married, and living a whole different life before I had another TV. So like, more than roughly a dozen years passed. Okay, I am going to press this to get the glue dry so I can carry on. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got it. I love how that feels. It's just nice and thick and sturdy. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it in two at 3 inches. Right down there. And then 3 inches here. And this one 3 inches. There we go. Now, because I'm doing these for myself, I will be using the same corner punch. But you can use any corner punch that does the job. Just making sure I get these the right way up, because I want the corners don't matter, but I want to make sure I put my slots on the side, like these on the side. I think I wanted to do, if I can even talk, I think I want to do this corner punch, but I'm really playing with this one as well. I'm going to do just a quick little experiment to see which one I like the best before I commit fully. got this one, which we know what looks like. And then we'll have this one, and then depending on, because it can go this way or this way. And then we've got this one that's the same. If I chose one of these, it would be this one. I like how it looks better, but I don't know what's the other one that I have. I don't know that I'll really like that one. But I'll put it on there just to say that I did. Now, I think I like that one the best, but this one, they both have an old-fashioned look. This one is actually, if you look, this has the same shape here, it just has more to it, or that's just that. So I think I'm going to end up going with this one. And now the next question is, do I want them up and down? Or I think I want them up and down, because the lace is then going to go this way. Yes, I want it up and down. I know I tend to complicate things sometimes. Just ask my husband. He could tell you all about it. Alright, so, but he's in the bed right now, so we'll not disturb him. Yeah. I don't know, I'm rethinking this for a second. See, when oh well, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Okay, if we do that, if we do that, you know, I think I actually like it better that way. Okay, that way it is. My goodness. Okay. So, what we're going to do, and I know you've probably seen me use this, but I love this. You can put any size paper in it and it'll punch a corner. So, I want them going horizontal, this line going horizontal, so I've got it turned this way. If I wanted it vertical, I'd turn it that way. So here we go. And then this is, like I said, it's a two-way design, so this is going to be up for me. So I'm going to go there, turn it over so I get the exact mirror image. Flip it again, same thing. There. Okay, I'm going to do all of them. I may not put the lace or ribbon on all of them, but let's see. That actually needs to go that way. You know what's funny? I'm right-handed. Oh, almost about to speak too soon. But I can punch this one better with my left hand than I can with my right hand. I think it's because it's not about punching it. I think I'm holding it with my right hand, and yeah, it don't want to work. It messes with my brain. Okay. Now, I don't know that I want to ink these. I probably should, because otherwise they're just, yeah. Okay. Well, here goes. I'm not going to do I just want a simple line though, so I'm going to try to keep it as a simple line. We'll see how what's the word I'm looking for? If I can accomplish that. Okay. Okay, we'll let that one dry. I did juice this inker up a little bit before I started doing the prototypes. That was about 3-ish hours ago. Then I got to talking to my daughter in Indiana. She crochets a lot, and she's found her a fair to go to in June at a farm, and so she was looking into, she's never done a fair or anything like that before, and she does other kind of crafts, but that's her main thing, and she's really good at it. And so she looked up this one fair that was being advertised as local, but she lives in Bloomington, Indiana, and Bloomington is not a little town, okay? So, and she's about 25 miles south of Indianapolis, where she actually lives, and so she was looking at this fair and finding out the details about it. And so when she looked it up, or I think it might have had a map on the website. Anyway, it turned out it's 2.5 miles from her house. She's like, "Mom, you won't believe this." I was like, "See, you don't even, it's just around the curve. You don't even have to go very far," because she was thinking I'm going to have to drive, an hour or two or something like that to get where I'm going. And so she got everything set up today, so it's all happening now. And I know I inked those way too soon because I hadn't cut out the sides yet, have I? Oh well, got talking and forgot what I was even doing. Okay, well, let's bring one back out here. Get my ruler, get my pencil, and we'll start with that. And it was 3 by 3, so I'm just gonna kinda eyeball that. I can't remember. I think I put the other ones at a 1/2 inch in, but this one's gonna need to be a little bit more, so I'm gonna put it. Well, somebody's messing with their neighbor's dog, evidently. I'm gonna do it at 1 and 2. Now that I think about it, when I did the other ones, the marks didn't really show up well, so I ended up going at a 1/4 inch. I think I'm going to go with roughly the 8 inch, but that puts it closer. I actually want it bigger. Let's see, if I went that far, that's a long way. I guess I'll just stick with the 1/4 inch. And I'm just eyeballing it to see, line up this edge with the 1/4 here. I'd forgotten about that. Okay. And then turn it over this way and do the same thing. Oh, that don't want to let go, does it? Okay. And then turn it over, Rebecca, and it'll work. Okay. Okay. Alright. I do have the little punch like this just by itself that came with my scoreboard. I do not like it. Like this, when I set this down, it's not going anywhere. It's got little rubber feet, or whatever these, rubber feet, and it's not going anywhere. I can kind of push down, do what I need to do. It's not going anywhere. That little thing, it's all over the place. There's nothing, and also the groove that it makes is much deeper. I don't like it, and more than likely it's going to go in the donate here sometime very soon. Because now when I cut this, I don't know how I got my pencil. When I cut these, I always do it from the back side because that's hard to see. So basically you just line up your ruler right at the bottom, but it does need to go over it just a tiny bit so that you get a clean cut to get that off the middle. If you go below it any at all, it's still going to be attached and create a little divot in here, and you don't want that. You want it to be smooth as if that's the way it came. So so you just want to cut that one little bitty triangle off very carefully without going deeper. So there that is. That looks pretty good. I think I like that. And the one thing about it is if you don't get enough of it off, you can, take that little bit of smidgen off. Like now, some people wouldn't mind that whatsoever, but I don't like that little hump because I didn't have my ruler straight. So I'm just gonna take that little thing off right there, and there we go. Alright, now get my ink back out here because I did it way too soon, but I guess it'll be alright. And try not to put my fingers in it. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out really good. Now, for myself, because there's some stuff that I sell, but I'm going to do this for myself, but I also do it for what I sell. Let me find the right side up. So what I would do once I put lace on this, or whatever, ribbon, whatever, up in the top right hand corner, I would erase the mark that I put on there that I didn't need, and I would write on here X amount of yards of ribbon, and maybe that would be all I'd write, just in real light up here, for myself, just because that's just what I do. Okay, here we go. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. What do I need? I need this. Can you tell? It's been a long day. Alright. This is the way that's going, so I need it this way. Did I do this one right? Yes. Alright. So, like I said, I am just eyeballing it. And I'm mainly doing this one while the ink dries on that one. But I'll do these two, and then we'll put some ribbon and lace on and see how it's going to look. So, oops. And you can make these cards any size. In fact, I almost made these 3 by 6, and it was like, no, that's for, and for big amounts that I have, I might make bigger cards, but then for the great big amounts, I've got other plans anyway. One of the suitcases that I was mentioning a few minutes ago, I took a couple of the heavier paper grocery bags and just ripped them into like squarish sections of maybe about 4 or 5 inches squarish, and then rolled them up, and then wound lace around that, and then secured it with a big giant black safety pin. Guess I ought to pay attention to what I'm doing. And that's what's in one of them, but I don't have anything written or anything like that. I had, oh, my ruler moved while I was yapping away. Alright. Yeah, much better. So, but I don't really like that, and I did that several years ago when I first started really acquiring lace in huge amounts of yards. And I do have some for sale in my store. Some of it's sold by the yard, and some of it is pre-packaged. I package all of my lace that I have cut, but lace that is in yardage, I don't have it packaged. Pre-packaged, that is. Okay, and I actually use file folders for my packaging. Maybe I'll do a video on that the next go around for File Folder Friday. And just because one of the things as crafters, especially when we go buying craft, what am I looking for again? Buying craft supplies, we are attracted to the things that looks pretty. And in our own supply closets, I'll call it, it's really good to have stuff that looks pretty, because then you want to use it, or sometimes you want to just keep it and look at it, but it don't hurt to have a little bit of both. Okay. Alright, I'm good with that. Okay, I'm going to take this partial piece of ribbon, seam binding, and we're going to put that right around here, like so. And I'm going to start it like that and just go around and around and around and hope that I end up on the back. But anyway, I do not remember this woman's name or her channel, but she is, it's something like, oh, I can't remember now, but it has to do with crafting organization, and I've only watched one video by her, but something she said, this was back in the fall, something she said that just totally hit home with me. She said, make your craft supply closet, room, whatever, wherever you have your stash that you use out of on a daily basis, make it shoppable. And I'm like, yes, that makes so much sense, because you see all these commercials for, you know, plastic totes, and you can see through them and this, that, and the other, but if you have to dig through stuff every time you get an inspiration, that's not doing you a whole lot of good. That's meant for storage. It's not meant to use stuff out of. And there's I think some of those storage companies have yet to figure that out. Come on now, get a hold of it. Oh, I'm in the wrong place, no wonder. But anyway, what I was getting to is, so in my, I think I'm going to have to go like this and use it this way. In my, I have a closet that I have my bulk, that's what I'll call it, my bulk stuff. And it's not in my craft room. But I had a lot of the stuff in there that I actually wanted to use out here. And so, my husband and I, we go antiquing a lot. And I had already gotten me a small collection of sewing machine drawers and other wooden and metal containers that roughly the size of a sewing machine drawer. And so I repositioned some shelving in my craft room and made me another layer, and right now I have old sewing machine drawers with the stuff I've made, and I can pull them out, and I use some thick cardboard, almost similar to this type of cardboard, but like double this thick, to create like wedges. Cut it just a little bit wider. I mean, like a smidgen wider than the inside, and pushed it down in there to create sections so I could put. So I got all my tags in one. Just all kinds of, and I've got two sides now, and that has helped me more than I think anything that I have done as far as storage and crafting and that sort of thing. So if I can find that, I could find her channel, I'm sure. I don't know if I could find the actual video I watched, but I know I could find her channel. This is going to be pretty big, but I'm going to undo it anyway. Well, it's not as big as I thought. It's funny, I would never wear this color because it's just not my color for clothing, but for like flowers and doing junk journals and things like that, I absolutely love using this color or variations of it. Now, let me put this down in the floor so I don't get it all tangled up. But I am going to put the whole thing on here, though. Or at least I'm going to attempt to. So I've been wanting to do some things with my lace for a long time, and I saw a few of these different types of, okay, we can go here, different types of lace cards. I'm like, oh yeah, I want to make some of those and make them to look somewhat real. You can see my battery run out, so if there's a break in the video like a minute ago, you'll know that's why. So anyway, pull this down this way, and I've done two, and I am going to be doing the other ones. I mean, they're the same basically, so I'll end the video with this one, but I'm going to clean up my workstation. Let me put that through one more time. I'm going to clean up my workstation. It looks kind of cute on the back with that little almost bowish looking, bowish, like a bow. My goodness. Anyway, let me clean up my workstation and we'll look at the ones that I've done so far. How's that? So I will be right back. You know, I was just thinking this would make a really great mass make project, and you don't have to put lace or ribbon, but if you have material like fabric, like sheeting or that sort of thing that you've ripped into threads that you've ripped into strips, you could use these for that also. I like this one, I really do. I like this one okay, but I wish I do have more that I didn't do. I did 4 different ones, but I only actually decorated 2 of them. I think I would have liked a different corner on this, but I do like it otherwise. And also to do this and maybe do it this size, but do it this skinny, I think would also be cute. This started out at 2.5 inches, and that's the difference. These are 3. These here are 3, and this one is also 2.5. These are started out the same. So anyway, there's those 2, and then there's these little purple ones that these will go in. These 4 will go in. Now I might actually exchange this green out because I need that, but I've got tons of pink, so I'll change that out to something else. But I'll put the card in with some lace on it in the giveaway. And then these are the 2 that I just did. So it's a very simple project, and if you want to make them a little more vintage, you can always, you know, put tea or coffee staining, and that'll give them a more vintage look, but I'm happy with that, just the way that it is. Alright, so that is, what am I calling these? Lace and ribbon cards made from a file folder, or at least backed with one. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.